now call on Alex Rowley to be followed by Roderick Campbell.
Reconciliation. Presiding Officer, as I began my morning last Thursday morning and throughout the day continued to go round polling station after polling station, I was taken aback, I think, in terms of I have attended many election days in my lifetime, but I have never seen an election day where polling stations were so busy and continuously busy throughout the day. And while we reached 10 o'clock and the polls were closing at night time, when I wasn't sure whether that was a good thing or a bad thing in terms of how the vote would go, I was certainly absolutely sure in my mind that it was a triumph for democracy. And I think that's got to be the starting point in terms of the discussion on the referendum. I do believe that there are issues and we need to learn from some of the issues. We should be condemning what happened in George Square. We certainly need to learn, particularly some of the social media and some of the vileness of that campaign. But we can learn from that. But overall, we need to be, I believe, positive. And I don't just view it as 2 million people having voted no, and therefore they are somehow the winners. My view is that the 3.6 million people that took the time to come out are the winners, because 100% of the people that voted for change, and change we will have. We have a timetable set out in front of us, and that timetable will be met. But in this campaign, over the period, particularly the last number of months, I've certainly talked to thousands of people throughout the constituency and elsewhere. And on the doorsteps, it was about change, but it was not just about constitutional change. It was about change for purpose, and a purpose for a more fair and more just society. And I think if we are going to honour the fact that this was a triumph for democracy, then we need to look about how this Parliament uses the powers it currently has and the powers that it will have coming down through the previous Scotland Act, and the powers that will be negotiated over the coming period of time, and how we use those powers to bring about social and economic change in Scotland that so many people came out and voted for. The right to work. On the doorsteps, speaking to people, people believe that the best way forward to tackle social inequality in this country and poverty is to give every person the opportunity to be able to work, and work with dignity and earn a decent wage. And therefore we need to look at the policies that we currently have and the policies that we need to bring forward to give people the right to work, the right to health and social care. People are genuinely worried about the pressures. And I've said before that no matter the colour of the government in this particular Parliament, there are major challenges facing us in the NHS as we go forward. But we will not tackle those challenges by burying our head in the sand and being in denial that those challenges and pressures are actually there. So in Fife, and the Health Secretary is not here today, but I've written to the Health Secretary, and I will be asking the Health Secretary for a meeting to start to look at some of the major crisis points and challenges that we have within the NHS in Fife. The right to education and the right to access for every child to achieve their full potential. There are far too many children in Scotland right now leaving our school system without the qualifications, without the skills to be able to get the jobs and get the work. And we have the ridiculous situation where in my own constituency we have companies using recruitment agencies recruiting all over Europe because they can't get the skills locally, whilst we have young people with very little hope for the future. That's got to be addressed. The right of dignity in retirement. Every pensioner, it's not just about their pensions, it's about the communities, about the infrastructure, it's about the way that we support people in retirement to have an active life. the right to have a roof over your head, the number of homeless that we have in my constituency and right across many parts of Scotland. And we need a programme, a housing programme, that will address the housing crisis that we have in Scotland. The right to localism. There has been far too many powers that have been centralised. I certainly never campaigned and fought for a Scottish Parliament to bring powers to Westminster to then suck powers up for local government. We need stronger local government. And if we are to tackle social inequality, if we are to give people the best opportunities in life, then we need to recognise that we can do that through every level of government, and that means empowering local government. Finally, the right of 16 and 17-year-olds to have the vote. We should be united in this Parliament. We should be putting forward a motion. We should be campaigning and joining the political parties at a UK level, just as Ed Miliband has done this afternoon, to say every 16 and 17-year-old should get the vote.
Thanks.